Dear brothers and sisters in Christ Jesus, today's reading invites us to reflect upon our everyday choices, urging us to choose the lasting values of justice, prayer, and faithfulness over fleeting profits and powers, and to actively use our resources to build a community rooted in God's love and mercy. In the first reading from book of Prophet Amos, we see, during the reign of Jeroboam II, Amos spoke out against the inequality in Israel, where healthy, where healthy elites prospered while the poor were exploited and ignored. The prophet Amos condemned businessmen in the marketplaces who, using the dishonest wealth, sold the poor quality grains and even brought and sold the poor. Here, the central message is worship and rituals are meaningless without having justice, emphasizing that religion cannot be separated from ethics. This passage connects to our modern economics too, where the profits are considered while this passage connects to our modern economics too, where the cost of profits have been considered and the dignity and the workers' right have been ignored. And we do have a contemporary prophets like Stan Swami who stood for this, for the marginalized and spoke against these wealthy and the elite groups. So, dear friends, today Prophet Amos is challenging us to prioritize justice over rituals, fairness in our dealings, and to recognize dignity of the poor, and caring for the underprivileged, and building communities of mercy and justice. And in the second reading, we see St. Paul urges Timothy and the early Christian community to make prayer as their first priority, asking through intercession, supplications, and thanksgiving, not only for ourselves, but also for the people, including leaders, those who are in authority, even if they are even if they are difficult and unjust. This passage reflects God's universal love and desire for everyone to be saved and to come to the knowledge of truth through Jesus Christ, the one mediator who gave himself as a ransom for all. St. Paul says, true prayer is not only about words, but the spirit we bring before God. So, dear friends, this passage, St. Paul challenges us to widen our prayers to the whole world. Prayer is the only weapon to build unity, guiding leaders to justice and peace, and also as Christians, it is the essence of our lives. Once a shopkeeper discovered that his store was about to close because he mismanaged his accounts. Knowing that he had very little time, he offered many discounts and cleared debts for many customers. Being grateful for his shopkeeper, they helped him in the future. And when the owner found out, instead of getting angry, he admired the shopkeeper's cleverness in turning bad situation to something useful. Similar things we see in today's gospel. We are all called to be a Christians, and we are called to use our resources, money, influence, time with wisdom and generosity, not selfishly. Wealth itself is not evil, but it cannot be mastered as you cannot serve both God and wealth. When we use rightly, wealth can transform relationships from transactions. So, to be a genuine friendship, fostering bonds of trust and care rather than the chains of greed. So, dear friends, today the parable challenges us to just as intentional and zealous for God's kingdom, using servantness not for greed but for generosity, justice, mercy, and love. May God bless us all.